Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Aesthetics and Wellness by Dr Yusra. On today's episode, I have the amazing, super funny, sometimes swearing, Dylan Evans, previous radio presenter, current social media entrepreneur, and he has millions and millions of followers, and he's talked a little bit about his journey, mental health, and his teeth. Enjoy. So, hi, nice to have you, Dylan.
Nice to see you.
So for anyone who doesn't know who Dylan Evans is, you are a social media personality, previous TV presenter. You've got like 2.2 million views on TikTok.
Followers.
Sorry,
Yeah, not just views. I've got one video more than that. I think across them all, I've got about 4 million. Who's keeping count? Not me.
So I want to hear all about the real Dylan. Now, I know you on a bit more of a personal level because I did your smell transformation. What we'll do is put a little before and after of your teeth here.
Yeah.
So
look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
And I want to know all about how you came to this position, why you decided to become so, why you got into social media in the first place.
Yeah. Well,
tell me how it started.
It started off I think everyone has the same story in social media. It's like, I started doing it as a laugh. But when I was doing it, I think it was maybe my first ever video I uploaded was like a prank call with my mate. And overnight, went to bed, woke up, it had like 3,000 likes on it, which back then, I think it was like 2012, 2013. So I've been doing it too long, I'd say. And then woke up and I was like, oh my God, like there's something in this, I think. So I just kept doing it. Loads of people would be like, oh, why are you doing that? Like, is this not cringy? You're not embarrassed? I'm like, no. But I always had this vision of, there's money in this somewhere. Yeah. Keep going. There is.
So it was from an entrepreneurial perspective. You knew that this was
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I probably didn't really see it as that at the time. Yeah. But I always did think like, I think I'm all right at this. I'm good at this. I think I am anyway. People follow me, so they follow me for some reason. Yeah. And then I've just moved on from different social medias and tried to get on them fast. Like I was on TikTok quite early when people thought it was just a dancing app. And I'm like, oh, it's not. Yeah. It's not at all. And then,
So you could see potential.
Yeah. I think in TikTok especially, like people, for ages, people would be like, oh, I'm not joining TikTok. I'm not joining that. And now they're all on it. Because you've got to be on it.
I know, even doctors are on it.
Are you on it?
Yeah.
You're on TikTok. Yeah, what's your For You page like? I'd love to see our For You pages would be so different. To be honest,
I am not big on TikTok, that's for sure. It wasn't, I guess when I discovered TikTok, I discovered Instagram first. And at the time that I discovered Instagram, people were using it to share their food and like what they were doing in their spare time. And I thought there is something here where I can share my work. So I started to share my before and afters, and then that blew up.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're big on Instagram.
Instagram is more of my thing.
You get more likes than me.
No, I don't.
I think you do.
Really?
Yeah, you get loads.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
She's popular.
Popular. Made it. Signed up by Dylan. And then I just continued on Instagram sharing before and afters, and then started educating people. And I think it's for me, my followers they want value adds from an educational perspective. Your followers, I think, are there for the laughs. But you've got a lot of interesting little bits that you put in there as well. I want to know why you hate America.
I don't hate America. Okay. They annoy me.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
They annoy me.
There's a lot of, and here's what America did now.
Yeah, but why I do that, I think it does especially well on TikTok. I wonder why TikTok hates America and what's going on there. Yeah. But they get so wound up so fast. It's quite bizarre. You can't say anything about their country. Whereas if someone maybe laughs at the UK or the UK is like this, I'm like, I know it's awful, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas you can't disrespect their country. I find that quite funny. So I'm just like prodding it. And it is a bit of a laughing stock. I think most countries are, but America's funny. Yeah. You've got to laugh at it. You must laugh at it.
I mean, I just
nice people.
Sometimes
I've got an American family.
It's not the people, right? It's not the civilians. For me, it's the politics of the country.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the people, but the politics too. Yeah.
So then you started doing. Were you kind of funny from childhood?
I mean, I suppose I was like the class clown, really. I always cared more about making people laugh, especially in school, like making a classroom laugh or making a room full of people laugh for me is like the best feeling, which that sounds sad when I say it out loud. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. No. But making a room full of people laugh is my favourite thing. And if I haven't made you laugh, I see it as a challenge. Like, I'll get you here now.
Yeah.
I want to see you laugh. I need to make you laugh, which usually kind of works. But I'm a middle child, one of three. So like the youngest one's always like the baby and the older one's the mature one. And then there's just me. So I was like,
I have to make them
I need
laugh
to do
get
something.
attention.
Yes. And then I think as if for attention, I don't know my own brain work sometimes, but no matter what I'm seeing, looking at, I've got to like find the funny in it, find the funny in everything.
That's amazing though, right?
Is it?
That's like, yeah, it is. It's pretty
sometimes,
good.
but then it's also
Better than being miserable.
Yeah, but it can be a curse sometimes.
Why?
Just don't take stuff seriously, maybe when I should. Like, that's funny, isn't it? But I find it funny in like bad situations. So, blessing and a curse, but I don't know how my brain works sometimes. Rapid and fast, lots of thoughts.
Could be
ADHD. I've done like a couple of tests like online.
Yeah.
I've never finished them. Get bored. I end up moving on. I go to TikTok and keep scrolling.
Well, that's kind of like a symptom as well. So I want to talk about how you got into radio.
Yeah, I was into radio for 5-6 years. I think I was doing it. I've had a year or two out now, but I've always kind of liked the presenting aspect of stuff as well, like tele presenting, like red carpet hosting and stuff like that. So yeah, I like radio. Radio's cool. It's kind of what we're doing now. People are listening.
But on a much, much, much larger scale.
Yeah, this has kind of took over radio, hasn't it? I think
social media, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the time, that was like, there was no, social media wasn't what it was then.
5 years ago,
now.
yeah. It's developed so fast, I think, especially through lockdown and stuff as well.
And did you find that challenging?
Which?
Work on the radio.
Yeah. Like, no matter what your mood is, you've got to be on. Once those mics go up, oh, I'm here now. I'm presenting this thing. Oh, this is blah 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 blah. So there's no that you can't go on and be like, anyway, this is like, so you've just got to flick this switch, which I think becomes really draining. Obviously, it's not. I was going to say brain surgery or like even stuff you do, which is really intense and like you can't be off the ball, but that's sort of the same as well. Same with social media and stuff as well.
You've
You've got to put a face on like instantly, no matter how you're feeling. Hey, I'm blah, 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 blah.
So how'd you do that? Like, you're having a bad day, you've had a fight with your other half, something
How'd you know?
happened.
No,
I'm married, I know what it's like.
I don't know, you've just got to do it. You've just got to push through it, I suppose. It's how anyone does it. It's not, I'm not a nurse. I'm not like a surgeon. I can't sit there and be like, oh, I feel grumpy. I'm going to take today off. So you've just got to push through it in any way you can, I suppose. Coffee helps. Shout out to coffee.
Thanks, Jacob.
Good coffee.
Question. During those days that you came to see me, that was what? That must have been about 8 years ago.
8?
Yeah.
What year is it?
It's 2024. I think I was pregnant. And my daughter's about to turn 7. So yeah, it must have been about 7.5 years ago, at least.
It's either 8 years
Have you
old.
not seen a dentist since then? Not okay. I'm not okay with that. No, really. So you came to see.
Do you know what? Actually, I haven't. Is that bad? How bad is that? Tell me about it.
I'm honored. I take it as a compliment.
I don't trust anyone else now. Once you have the best, do you know what I mean? Can't go anywhere else now.
Well, we'll get you in. We'll get you sorted. But what was the instigator for that?
What? Getting me teeth done?
Yeah.
Joe, I've actually never spoke about this, but I smashed me face in one night. I had a little bit too many fizzy pops to drink, and then it's the worst bit about it. It's like a nightmare, actually. I think it's a lot of people's nightmare, like worst case scenario. I was out, drank too much, fell over on stairs, I think, forgot it all, woke up, but like my 2 front teeth are basically gone. And I cared so much about like how I look and me smiling. I've got to do like my job and stuff. And then woke up with like smashed in teeth. Don't remember it. So I woke up in bed with like a headache, hungover, like, oh, I feel the worst. Like tried to lick me 2 front teeth.
And they weren't there.
I was like, where are they? Sprinted to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh, this is hell. This is a nightmare. I was like waiting to wake up again. I was like, oh, this is one of them nightmares when your teeth fall out.
Yeah.
Wake up, pinching myself. Didn't happen. And then went and got them. I don't know what's it called when it's like
composite bonding.
No, like not a crown. It's like the temporary one. It was only temporary what they could do.
So when you came to me, you had something already on there.
What was that?
That was composite.
That one, and it was terrible. It was like a different color.
It was a different color.
It was awful. So I like really cared so much. And I was like, I need something here. And then Found you.
And then you found me.
And you saved the day.
And what does it mean? Because I remember when you first came in and you were really on TV, on radio, you were super confident. And part of it is masking. I hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you came across as super confident and you came in and you were like, I absolutely hate my teeth.
Yeah.
And I hate smiling. And you were kind of holding back from smiling at the time.
Yeah.
You didn't want people to see it.
What's your two front teeth, isn't it?
It's your two front teeth. It's like, it's worse than breaking your leg, to be honest, because it is, because you can't hide it. They don't go back. You can't fix it, right? You only get one set of adult teeth.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you lose a tooth, break a tooth, if it's a baby tooth, not the end of the world because you have a second set. If it's an adult tooth, that is it. And you use your smile to communicate. It's a mode in which we communicate verbally and non-verbally. Just by the way that I'm looking at you, if I show my teeth and I smile, hi, it gives the illusion of the perception, the message, I'm friendly, I'm warm, I'm welcoming, let's have a chat. And confidence. Whereas if you're going, I love.
Yeah. I found myself doing that. Like I almost developed like when I'd laugh, I'd cover my mouth and laugh.
Yeah.
Like, I never done that.
Yeah.
I'd be one to just openly laugh. And then once my teeth got a little bit wrecked, I was like, changes a bit of everything. I've smiled a lot less. I noticed that.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Yeah. Actually, there's evidence to suggest that when you lose a tooth or if you stop smiling because you're embarrassed about your teeth, it actually increases the likelihood of developing clinical depression.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that, absolutely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So then after you had your teeth, you found confidence and then TikTok came on.
Yeah. Thank you for that. It's all because of you. I think it's all because of you. No, it changed a lot. Like, also another thing, I don't know how you feel about like maybe turkey teeth. I believe the phrase is, but I don't feel like mine are that. No one's ever, I've only told, like obviously people know, but whenever I tell them like, oh, they're not my teeth, they're always stunned.
Yeah.
I'm like, you knew me before this.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a couple of others as well. I don't know what you've fully done. It's all weird when you say it, but it's good. But like you changed me smile and no one batted an eyelid, which I find bizarre because now so many people have got like
turkey teeth.
The funniest looking teeth.
Yeah.
Why is it all like one tooth?
One colour.
No, not even one colour. It looks like one giant mega tooth.
Chiclet. It looks like a chiclet, like a piece of like chewing
just
gum.
One, just like,
I know. It's a real, I love Liverpool to bits, but this is a real...
Is Liverpool heavy on it, is it?
Totally. And I came from London. And in London, everybody wants undetectable, natural. They don't want people to know. They want a nicer smile for sure. They want a transformation. But they want it to look within the realms of natural.
Yeah.
And then in Liverpool, the faker the better.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's quite funny.
And it's quite scary, actually, because what they don't realise, and a lot of people are going to Turkey to get it done, this is not to put anybody in Turkey down. Caveat, my great-grandmother is Turkish, so this is not to put anybody in Turkey down. But they certainly have a way, a style, and that style is bleach white, like, what is it, Tic Tac?
Like a Tic Tac,
like a Tic Tac.
Yeah.
Like literally looks like a piece of chewing gum stuck on.
Could your teeth even naturally get that white?
No. It's an unnatural white. Your teeth cannot get that
I think we can detect that as well, like instinctively. But like something's off, something's wrong there. That doesn't make sense.
And that's also why when you see people with too much lip filler or cheek filler or whatever else, you can tell, and it's a little bit off-putting. Yeah. Because you look at them and you go, there's something disingenuous in here. Something's off here. And it's hard to connect with someone who looks like they are...
It's like they're wearing a mask.
Like they're wearing a mask.
A bad mask.
That's a really good way of putting it. Well done.
I'm not just a pretty smile. No.
You bring the brains to you.
Every now and then.
That's it. That's I think exactly what it is, and that's a phenomenon that became really big in Liverpool. But I think the tide is changing because when I moved to Liverpool from London, I was working in a clinic where everybody was coming in with literally their lips walking in before the rest of the face. And they'd be like, can I have more lip filler? And I'd be like, where can I possibly put this lip filler? This is not, it was completely, didn't align with my values, didn't look natural. And I felt I was doing a disservice. And ultimately, I'm not a beautician, I'm a medical professional. Yeah. So I can't do something to you that's going to do you harm, even if you want me to.
So would you turn them away?
Totally.
Oh, nice.
Totally. And they'd be like, I'm going to go to skin clinic. I'd be like,
go on.
You have fun.
Off you pop.
Because that's my reputation. That's my business card on their face. And what I found was in Liverpool, and again, this is not like a no, this is not. But what I found was nobody had ever said no to them before. Yeah. So and because their friends had it and their sisters had had it, it became the new norm. So that's all they saw. They saw that to be normal.
Wow.
They couldn't see abnormal. And every time I get in a cab, until today, I get in a cab from London to Liverpool because I travel quite a lot. And the taxi guy says to me, so what do you do? And I go, I'm an aesthetic practitioner. He goes, oh, you mean like Botox and fillers?
Botox and that.
And then he goes, what's wrong with all the girls here?
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
it's
a good impression.
Thanks. And it's sad, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It's sort of happened dead fast. I don't get why has that happened. It's almost like overnight.
Peer pressure. It's peer
like
pressure. Social media. It's like social media. Social
Yeah.
media blew up. Kylie Jenner came on. Lots of different celebrities were talking about doing their lips. Kim Kardashian, etc. Huda Beauty. People wanted to look like that. But the tide is changing because, again, social media impacts people's sphere of influence.
Yeah.
If I'm exposed to the gorgeous models online all having lip filler and they did that in order to be at their top, that I want to do that. I need to, in my mind, I need to do that in order to also be in that same space. But over lockdown, things changed because a lot of these celebrities started to dissolve their lip fillers and they started to go back towards natural. So there's definitely a palpable shift.
Right.
And that therein lies the responsibility of social media influencers, because what you do, no pressure.
Don't blame me. This is not on me, guys. I just make fun of Americans. Come on now.
You're not making people have lip filler.
No.
But
if someone pays me enough, I'll do it.
No, you won't. I won't let you do that.
I might. We'll have a bidding war with you. Like, no, yes, no.
So I think that's why. But I think things are changing. But with the teeth thing, it's still very much there, and I think cost is a big driver as well.
It's cheap.
It's
to
cheap.
get like a full the one thing
in Turkey.
Yeah.
But pay peanuts, get monkeys.
Yeah.
Right?
That one as well.
That too. Honestly, I say this all the time, pay cheap, pay twice. And what ends up happening is they go to Turkey. I hope my next guest hasn't gone to Turkey to get his teeth done. You know all the secrets. So when they go there, they have half of their teeth, literally their tooth, cut down to smithereens.
Like the full face. And they've got like little tiny
They've got tiny
tic-tac
little
teeth.
tic-tac teeth. Exactly. And then they have this porcelain stuck on it. And remember, every time you take drill to tooth and you drill away parts of the tooth surface, you're heating up the nerve inside the tooth, which means there's a 1 in 5 chance, 20% chance that tooth is going to die and you'll end up getting an infection, needing a root canal, and possibly losing your teeth. Is it worth it? You know, you want a short-term gain, long-term loss.
Yeah.
So I would strongly advocate against going and having turkey teeth.
Yeah.
And paying cheap, because long term you'll pay 10 times more to correct them, and you'll never get your tooth back. It's not like bone. This is what I mean. Losing your tooth or doing something wrong to your tooth is much worse than breaking an arm, breaking a leg, because that can fix, but your teeth never can. So don't drill away your teeth. Go and see a dentist who is good at their job, honest, and will say no to you.
Yeah, and a root canal is the most painful thing I think I've ever experienced.
Did you have a root canal?
I've had one once, yeah. I think it was before. No, you never done it. It was before I came to you, I think, because when I smashed them in and whatever. Yeah. And
but
then,
now you couldn't tell. They look so natural.
It's the worst pain. It's bizarre. You can feel it like in your skull. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
So I want to talk about mental health.
Oh, God. Go on. Hit me up.
And part of that, see, this is the thing about personas online, is people look and they go, oh, he must be happy all the time.
Yeah, it's not the case.
It's not the case.
No.
Do you get hate?
Do you know what? I always think not as much as I should. I always think because I'm always almost like winding people up, or at least trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I feel like I should get maybe more hate than I get.
Okay.
And then some from Americans, if there's any watching. But I kind of bring that on myself, so...
Yeah. You accept that. You expect that.
Yeah.
So do you ever get unexpected hate?
Again, not really. People usually just attack Liverpool or where I'm from, or they'd say I'm skinny, and I'm like, I know all these things, so I'm sort of secure in those things enough anyway. But like back in the day when I started, I remember just thinking, look, I'm going to get loads of compliments maybe, and I'll get loads of negativity. I'm probably not as good as the compliments. I'm probably not as bad as the negatives. Sort of sit in the middle. Like, don't take it either way, because otherwise you'll get a big head. Like, oh, look at these, like I've got thousands of people saying I'm good, and then one person says a bad thing, and then you go,
but you've built a thick skin, because that you couldn't have started out like that.
No, I mean, it'll still bother you if you get a comment. You can't say it doesn't, but it's never, again, it's neither of them have bothered me enough Like the compliments, I'm like, I don't really take the compliments in at the same time, and I don't take the negatives in at the same time, which might be bad.
So what
But
is
it
it
helps.
in terms of if you had, and I know you don't have babies yet, but if you had a child who wanted to go into social media and you wanted to protect their mental health, what would be your concern?
Oh, that's a good. Oh my god, what a question! Wow, questions with you, Sarah. That's a good one. You can't. I'd maybe say ignore it. Like, almost don't check your comments. I almost like not. I
So
have
post
to
and ghost.
post and ghost the way forward. It's
that what you
hard to
do?
do it a lot of the times, yeah. Or like I'll reply to the first initially because I can boost your algorithm. Oh, more comments on there.
Yeah.
But I'm never one to like just go through and check my comments. But I don't know if that's because I've been doing it for so long and I've been getting a bunch of comments for like maybe 10 years. You get bored of it after a while.
You get desensitized.
Yeah, I think I'm completely desensitized to it. I don't even,
And
it's bizarre.
You've got that personality where you can, it's kind of like water off a duck's back. It doesn't bother you too
I
much.
can't think of anything anyone could say that would bother me that much.
But were you always like that?
To an extent, yeah. I used to get really self-conscious about, I used to have like spots. I used to have like bad spots. I'd always get one on the end of my nose. I'd have a dead red nose, like Rudolph.
Yeah.
And those comments would bother me.
Yeah, acne is.
And that's like, I'm like, oh, I'm this confident person, which I'm not really, but that one used to bother me loads for some reason more than anything else would be my skin. I'd be like, I'm trying. And that would bother me. That's maybe the only one that I'd say used to get to me.
So was that on a personal level or online?
Online, it'd be like, like spotty scouser or like other comments like that. And I'd be like, oh, don't think it looked that bad. Don't name me the spotty. That's the episode name now. The spotty scouser, Dylan Evans. Nice to meet you. But that was maybe one where I was like, ugh. Don't say that. That's me.
It's kind of online bullying, isn't it? No, it is.
A little bit. Yeah, I suppose. But again, I feel like I bring it on myself. I'm out there trying to be funny.
You don't bring acne on yourself. Don't make excuses for bad behavior. No, I think you're a nice person, and so you try and see the best, and that's really nice. But I don't think we should make excuses for online bullying. You're strong enough to be able to go, I still hurt you. But there are people who are completely floored by that kind of thing. So don't diminish it. Busted. So when you were in radio, what was the good and what was the bad? What did you find difficult?
The good was like the opportunities and stuff. It's cool being on radio and like you have such a weird like access to people, like people driving to work, driving to school, whatever, and like, oh, that's the voice in the car. Like if you got recognised, that would be like, oh my God, that's like they say you're just like, I'd like to say more famous than you actually are.
Yeah.
And I never really understood that, but maybe I'd be like that, meeting somebody from radio. I don't know. And then the bad, it's draining. I think it's a lot more draining than people understand. And especially, like I used to do the breakfast show, which is waking up at 4 a.m.
Yes, that's what you were doing when you came to see me.
4 a.m. And like that was just,
because you'd come in and sleep on the chair.
Yeah. You'd be falling asleep at like 6:30, 7 p.m. which is embarrassing, like a child. But then you've got to because you're waking up at 4 and just waking up and seeing like 4 o'clock on your phone and you're not going on holiday. That's grim. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
So do you miss it?
Yeah, I'd say I do actually. I'd miss radio. I'd love to go back. I'm on the market if anyone's out there. No, but like I do miss it. But like I like what I'm doing at the same time now. But, yeah.
And how did you get into radio in the first place?
I studied it at university.
Radio
or
media?
Radio production and television production.
Oh wow!
See,
okay,
not just a pretty smile.
So this is all pre-planned.
I always loved radio. I always wanted to present, and then didn't really like the uni course that much because it was a lot of like the management side and production side. And I was like, I just want to talk. I think I can talk. I think I'm all right to talk. And let me talk. And then ended up at Juice FM. Just whamed me way in, like, oh, can I make tea and coffee? And then ended up like getting a cover show, and then you just like boop, 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 boop. That's how you do it. But yeah, you start off making tea. I can make a mean cup of tea now, let me tell you. Really? A mean cup of tea.
Okay, I'll have to try this.
No sugar, though. No sugar. Sugar is the devil.
He came in and he asked Jacob for a cup of tea with sugar, and I was like, no, in front of me. I mean, at least hide
really
that.
Offensive too,
It's really offensive.
What's like the thing that offends you most in terms of like stuff that happens to someone's teeth? What do you think of like Monster energy drink and stuff like that?
I think that's awful. I think it's absolutely awful. I think if you're going to have something like that, get the sugar-free version, because now they have sugar-free versions.
Yeah, but it's not as nice.
Well, I don't
The
care.
sugar-free version, Yusra isn't. I don't know if you're familiar with Monster Energy. I am. It's
I'm familiar with Red Bull.
nice. Yeah, okay.
Well, it's not as nice because you are used to having sugar in your tea and you're used to that sweet hit. But you can totally wean yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that when you have it, you'll be like, oh,
But you not have sugar. You just don't have sugar.
I used to have sugar in my tea. I used to always have sugar in my tea.
But you'll have
and
like
my
cake
coffee.
and stuff.
I have cake, yeah.
So you will have, you're not like no sugar
I'm
diet.
not anti-sugar, but I think it's unnecessary in your drinks. and also if you're having, so I'm busy all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep going with my coffee. I need my coffee. And if I have sugar, that means I'm constantly having a sugar hit. And I think you forgot a lesson that I taught you, which is every single time you put sugar in your mouth, even if it's 1 grain of sugar, the pH in your mouth falls to -5, so it becomes acidic, and it stays acidic for 45 minutes. Okay, your teeth can only handle 3 sugar attacks or acid attacks a day. As soon as you have more than 3 sugar attacks, 4 at a max, you end up you push yourself into the realm of decay. So if you're having a cup of tea with sugar in the morning, let's say 8 o'clock, you're waking up, you're having a cup of tea with sugar, and then 9 o'clock, you're having your breakfast. That's 45 minutes between 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then at 9 o'clock, it's going down again. So you're in an acidic state. Let's say 11 o'clock, you're having a bit of a low, you've seen a biscuit, you have that with your cup of tea. Again, it goes down. Then you're having lunch at 1 o'clock. You've got a sugar hit again. 3 o'clock, you're having your midday slump. So you're having your tea with sugar. Yeah. It's constant. So you're constantly in an acidic state. So not only are you swallowing that acid, which completely ruins your gut health, your microbiome in your guts, it also ends up causing skin conditions, inflammation in your body, and it completely decimates your teeth.
Oh, you'd hate my day. I don't even tell you about my day. No, I don't even tell you. That's mad though, that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
No, you did. I told you this.
I knew that. Told you. I'm just a pretty smile. Yeah, I'm just a pretty smile.
But it's okay. We'll look after you. We'll keep it going.
Yeah.
So, okay. And now that you have left radio for now, I know you're in the market, you're considering going back. What's your long-term plan?
Oof, I don't know. Whatever happens, happens. Like
But you have a goal? Are you manifesting something?
Yeah, maybe. I like what I'm doing. I think with social media and like I stream on Twitch and stuff like that. Like there's almost no ceiling anymore to what can happen. So it's exciting. It's also terrifying. But I also like, it's good to have a plan yet, but also.
So what happens if TikTok stops being shown in America? Do you know that's the thing?
Yeah. It's my fault, I don't think.
You're like, no more hate.
It's my fault. I'd be gutted. I'd be losing my biggest platform. I've got 2 million on there and I can just go yoink. Which wouldn't surprise me if it did happen.
Really?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it got banned.
Why though? See, it surprises me because I got an email yesterday about this saying prepare for the worst. Stop your ad spend on TikTok and move it into Facebook and Instagram. I mean, I never do ad spend anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's going on here? And I started to Google what was going on because I'm not big on TikTok. And then I realized more about this ban and you know, I think it's censorship and political control.
Yeah, it's just
that's what it comes down to.
Nothing would surprise me anymore. I think, especially with politics and stuff at the moment, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'd be annoyed. I don't think it should. I think it's ridiculous. It's freedom. Like we should have the freedom to do whatever. And it's a funny app. It's the best. It's the best algorithm that's ever been assembled, I think.
So if that goes down, then what?
Move into the next one. There's other ones.
And there'll
be
you have
others.
A plan B?
Yeah, there's other ones and there'll be other ones as well. Like a few years ago, TikTok wasn't a thing. Vine, I was big on Vine. Well, I wasn't big, but like I used to be a big fan of Vine and that just got taken down randomly one day. Twitter bought it, I think, and then just like got rid of it. And like there was people on there with tens of millions of followers. It's like you just lost that overnight. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they just shifted to the next one. Vine might come back if TikTok goes. It's exciting but terrifying, I think.
And are you living off it now?
Yeah, that's literally what I do at the minute. It's nice.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, but like there's good months, there's bad months.
Yeah,
it's a laugh.
That's a laugh, right?
It's a laugh, isn't it? It's a laugh. It's a laugh.
Okay, and so if you had to say something to your younger self, what would that be?
Don't get drunk and smash your teeth in.
That's definitely good advice.
That number one. I don't know. What does I say to my younger self? It's a hard question. What's with these questions?
You thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah, this is awful. Questions with you, sir. What would you say to your younger self? Not me.
Oh, I'll tell you, but first you have to tell me what you would.
I don't know what I'd say.
I would say believe in yourself.
Yeah, I'm robbing that.
You're robbing
We'll
that.
edit this in. I'd say believe in yourself. Have some faith. Don't get drunk as much. That'd be my advice.
Any regrets apart from smashing your teeth in? What's your biggest regret? I want to know your biggest regret.
I don't actually know. I try not to regret too much, but I regret everything at the same time. I don't know.
You're an overthinker.
Oh, massively. It's the ADHD, apparently, what you said.
How do you manage that?
Not well. I just think loads. I don't get how you can't think. Do you get what I mean?
Can you switch off?
Thoughts, probably not. No.
So when a new thought comes, you just go online and...
Oh, I try and numb it. Oh, let me scroll for a bit. Let me like take it away from that kind of thing. But like, I'm always thinking. And when people go on about like, people haven't got like that thought in their head. Like the voice, like not the voices, but you know, like, what's it called? Like that conscious thought. I'm like, oh, you don't have like always, you're not always thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, that must be boss.
It must be really peaceful.
Yeah. It's just like
just
birds tweeting in their head. That sounds so fun.
Does it drive Yasmin crazy?
Probably. Yeah. Well, that's what she loves. We've been together long enough. We've been together long enough. That's your source of
creativity.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's as we said before, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Yeah, because I always think if I didn't have that, maybe I wouldn't think of these like, funny things and whatever else. So, blessing and a curse, isn't it?
So, would you encourage any young people to go into social media? I always worry because my son wants to go into YouTube. He's only 10, and my husband's a child and adolescent psychiatrist. So he has this like real fear of letting him on social media because of potential hate, potential comments and how that might affect him. Also, potential fame getting to his head.
Yeah.
And what that means for a young person who later needs to, I think another thing is sometimes everything that goes up must come down.
Yeah.
And if you reach your peak as a teenager, or when you're really young, what does that mean for your adulthood when you feel...
It's like all the Hollywood stars always end, like the child Hollywood stars always ends up getting like messed up mentally, didn't they? With social media though, I don't think we know. Like these kids now, this is the first wave, this is the first generation that have just known social media. Like I'm a little bit old, I'm 28, but like when I grew up, I'd knock at someone's house, they'll come out. They don't even have that anymore.
I know.
You just text outside. So they've even lost that little bit of interaction. They've lost a bit of everything. And I don't think we have any idea how mad this is. Even slightly. I don't think we have a clue.
Do you think it's scary?
Terrifying. Well, there's been nothing else like it. Like it used to be like not even that long ago. It was like maybe telly and newspapers and stuff. And then all of a sudden we had access to everything all at once. Limitless, endless.
So I saw you do a TikTok. And on this TikTok little video, which I found really actually powerful, there were these parents who were saying, oh, my kids are always online and on these tablets. And you went, shut up.
That's how I started.
That's how they all start, right? And then you said, take responsibility.
Yeah.
You said, take responsibility. These children did not go and buy themselves £1,000, £2,000 phones or tablets. You as a parent gave it to them. And I thought, that's really powerful.
You gave them the phone. You give them this thing which has had billions, maybe trillions of dollars worth of like research into how can we harness attention. The more attention that you're looking at there, you get more ad money, you get more revenue. So the businesses have put money into attention. It's the market of attention. It's not technology really anymore. The tech's been there for ages. Your touch screens, your cameras. It's an attention market. And you're giving these devices to like kids, toddlers. I always feel mad if I see like a baby with an iPad and they know how to do it. I'm like, what's that doing to their brain? And we don't know.
Yeah.
There's never been a generation before that's had access to stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, it is basically like science fiction technology.
Literally.
Have
It's
that on
scary,
your brain.
isn't
It
it?
must fry your brain. I find it sometimes, like if I'm scrolling for too long, I'm like, I feel brain fried. I'm glad I didn't have it as a kid.
Yeah.
Which speaks, I don't know, like I'm glad I didn't have an iPad as a baby. I'm
Same.
glad I didn't. Yeah, I'm really glad. But does every generation say that? Does every generation be like, oh, I'm glad I didn't have any of that? Yeah, do you get what I mean?
True, but this is I think we're in this really interesting phase where I'm seeing it even in I'd say late teenagers who are coming in who are used to everything. They want everything now.
Instantly.
Instant gratification. There's no delayed gratification.
No.
They want it not just now, they want it yesterday.
Yeah.
And actually what that results in is they don't have stamina. They don't understand grit, resilience, hard work, grafting. You did that. You grafted to get to where you are. It didn't just come on a silver plate.
No.
Now you're asking younger kids, what is it you want to do for the rest of your life? And they want to be social media influencers or YouTubers. That's great. But what happens when it goes?
Yeah, and that's the cool job now as well,
that's
isn't it?
That's a cool job.
It didn't exist.
Because they're looking at Dylan.
It didn't exist 10
and
years
Dylan,
ago.
you're an influencer. And they're like, I want to be like him.
It's not that cool, look. Trust me.
You literally look super cool. Okay, so I'm going to end and I'm going to ask you, if social media didn't exist, or if it ceases to exist,
yeah,
who would Dylan be?
Oh, it's a deep question. I always like to think I go into some kind of presenting role, which I think I've still kind of got there. I still do little bits and bobs like red carpets and stuff like that. But I think I'm like good enough at that where I don't necessarily, like if social media was just to be evaporated, I think I'd be okay. But I don't know what I'd be, I suppose. I owe a lot to social media. I know I criticise it and stuff like that, but it is amazing as well, as harmful as it is. I think we love to moan at like, oh, yeah, online bullying and stuff like that, but it's also the most powerful thing. It's give power to people again.
Totally.
Which
it's a double-edged sword.
It really is. Like back in the day, like if it wasn't on telly, if it wasn't whatever, they're all governed massively. So you could decide exactly what was getting out there. Whereas now, you can get millions of people signing petitions. You can get videos with hundreds of millions of views and get stuff out there that would never usually get out there. So I think it is amazing at the same time, but also the devil.
So approach with caution.
Yes.
Enjoy, but approach with caution.
Yes.
Keep your eyes open.
Yes.
So if people are looking on your social media at the moment and they see Dylan Evans, the Joker, and the guy that's always making us laugh, because that's what you do. And by the way, it's an amazing skill and it's an amazing talent, and everyone has that. So credit to you. And totally ride this wave.
Where's this going?
Where is it going?
Why is she being nice?
Where is it?
She being nice.
I'm always nice.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But what do you really like off the screen?
Pretty similar,
okay,
I suppose.
So that's the real you.
Yeah. Pretty much. Obviously, I sort of will ramp certain things up and speak a little bit louder to get to the point, because you've got to get people's attention in fast.
Yeah.
But I think I'm pretty honest and pretty transparent through it. So that's why I don't think I get sort of bothered that much by hate comments. So I'm like, yeah, well, there's what I'm like.
Yes.
I'm not really hiding anything. I don't think it's good to hide, especially through like social media. And then again with like streaming, I can stream for hours and hours on end. There's no time to filter and edit. Like, I won't swear. I don't swear on social media, but I swear in real life. That may be the difference.
Yeah, that's why I had to start this with, by the way, please don't swear.
Don't say. Or beep.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those in the dental chair.
So do I.
It was pleasant. You were half asleep half the time.
Yeah, I was actually. I'm too tired.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a joy to see you again.
Pleasure was all mine. I'll see you again soon to fix. Well, I've not been a dentist
to fix the last 7 years worth of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll sort that out. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks for having me.